This is Julian speaking, welcoming you to another battle report out of the breach. Asami Tanaka Shintaku. Her first lessons with Yanlo were enlightening. He said Asami was no longer wholly human. She was connected to the beyond in a way that transcended the gate in her head. The control over Oni was unlike anything Yanlo had ever seen. Hearing this gave Asami confidence. The woman had become something in her own right. Malifaux Burns' book, page 127. Yanlo and Asami trained together, and we wanted to see what could happen and what the new Asami brings to the table. At the point of the recording, Yanlo the Spirit Walker hasn't been released in Germany and we didn't want to proxy, so you will see the non-title version of him. But rest assured, as soon as I get my hands on him and Kenshiro, I will prepare a battle report to present more of the title masters. As usual, a quick disclaimer beforehand. We like to play casual and friendly games and take our time in recording the battle reports. So, some decisions may seem odd, but we all know how our brain can fry over hours of gaming time. If you find any rule errors or have some tips and tricks, feel free to comment down below. There is always something to learn and possibilities to discover that let us grow. So, today it's Bernd for the 10 Thunders with Asami Tanaka Shintaku against me with Yanlo for the Resurrectionists. Grab a drink of your choosing, sit back and enjoy the battle report. This strategy is called Corrupted Ley Lines. We have 5 height 5 blocking impassable strategy markers on the battlefield. After deployment, each crew places a lodestone token on one friendly model in play. The lodestone carrier or a friendly model within 1 inch can take an interact action to place the lodestone on another friendly model within 6 inches. At the end of a turn, a crew may claim a strategy marker in base contact with a friendly model with a lodestone. The marker claiming can start on turn 1, but victory points can be gained, as usual, at turn 2. The schemes are: Detonate charges. A crew tries to get 2 scheme markers within 2 inches of the same enemy model. Vendetta. A chosen model from your crew tries to wound a chosen enemy model of equal or higher cost, and wants to stay alive afterwards. Claim jump. A model tries to get to the center of the board and wants to be there with no one else around. Spread them out. You want to get 3 scheme markers on the enemy table half at least 10 inches apart from each other. Bait and switch. A secretly chosen enemy model has to be on your side of the board at least 4 inches away from the center line and within 4 inches of a friendly scheme marker. At the end of the game, the total combined soulstone costs of enemy models in your deployment zone should be 7 or less. Another quick disclaimer before the crew presentation. I apologize for butchering any of these names. I don't know any Asian language, so I'm sure some pronunciation will be way off, but I do my very best and I hope everyone who knows the correct way will be lenient with me. Asami Tanaka Shintaku, with her keyword Oni, brings her totem Amanyaku, Ohaguru Betari, Amanosako, Lady Yume, an Obsidian Oni, a Tengu, and 2 Akaname, leaving 5 soul stones for the battle. Yanlo, with his 2 keywords Ancestor and Retainer, brings his totem the Soul Porter, Manos the Risen, Toshiro the Daimyo, with the upgrade the Whisper, Chiaki the Beacon, Sun Chang, a Gokudo, and a Gravedigger, leaving 5 soul stones for the battle. Shortly you will see the chosen schemes. If you do not want to know, just close your eyes for a few seconds and I will let you know when to open them again. Wait. Still interesting stuff on the screen. One moment. And now you can open them again. And here we see the crews after deployment. You have to imagine the green markers as height 5 pillars. The Tengu carries the lodestone for the Oni and the Gokudo for the Ancestors and Retainers. Turn 1. After a friendly handshake, we see the control hand of Asami and her Oni, and of Yanlo and his Ancestors and Retainers. The Oni win the initiative flip and hand it over to the Ancestors, who gain a pass token because they have 1 fewer model than the Oni. Asami has Arcane Shield +2. She gains Shielded +2 during the start phase. The Gravedigger activates, walks twice, and succeeds with her ability Grave Robber to drop a corpse marker anywhere within 2 inches. If a corpse marker is dropped within 6 inches, she can push up to 4 inches towards it because of her Corpse Collector ability. We do not have to push directly towards our targets any longer, so she tries to get a bit closer to the house. One of the Akaname walks twice and gains a flicker token to use its bonus action, a Foul Gift. Succeeds and can drop a scheme, scrap, or corpse marker in base contact with itself. It chooses a scheme marker. A quick side note on flicker tokens. A lot of the Oni have an ability called From Beyond. Before performing a duel, they can gain a flicker token to receive a plus flip to that duel and any damage flips it generates. A powerful ability, but as a lot of things, it comes with a price. After any model ends its activation, if a model with From Beyond has 3 or more flicker tokens, it is killed. It just flickers out of existence, and as we see with the Akaname, there are other ways to gain flicker tokens. But there are also ways to remove them. Chiaki is next to activate, and she uses her bonus action Spirit Flute. She succeeds with a red joker and can declare the Split the Soul trigger on a mask and discards a card to do so. At first, all Retainer models in a pulse of 4 may move up to 3 inches. So everybody within the pulse moves because every Ancestor is also a Retainer. After the move, Chiaki can split a soul. She chooses a non-master Retainer to gain a reliquary upgrade of another friendly model within range. Let's have a quick look at the Ancestor upgrades. Every ancestor model has a reliquary upgrade with his or her name. Usually, these reliquaries can be attached to a friendly model within 8 inches when an ancestor dies. But Chiaki knows her way around the spirit world, and so the Gokudo can attach the reliquary of Manos and gains regeneration +1 and a Lantern of Souls. No demise abilities for enemy models within 5 inches. For her first action, she uses Beckoning Call on Toshiro, who relents. She cheats to succeed, and Toshiro can move his move towards a friendly model, and chooses to follow the Gravedigger. And then Chiaki moves herself, ends her activation, and forgets about her nefarious pact to draw a card. Amanjaku walks once and cheats to succeed with an Anchor Oni, and the Akaname can discard a flicker token. And then he succeeds with his bonus action Storm of Shadows, and every model within 3 inches has concealment. The Soul Porter uses an Empower Ancestors on Manos, succeeds, and Manos can move up to his move of 6 inches. And then the Soul Porter moves into the forest. He can ignore the severe terrain because he is incorporeal. Lady Yume walks twice. She can ignore the severe terrain because she is unimpeded. Toshiro is next to activate, and because of his Whisper upgrade, he can have a look at the top 3 cards of his Fate deck and put them back in any order. He can summon an Ashigaru and wanted to see a 12, but no luck this time. At least he knows what's coming. At first, he uses his bonus action Foul-Mouthed Motivation on Yanlo. Yan gets a heal flip and focus +1. Yanlo has full health, but we decided to do the healing flip nevertheless. If that is not correct, please leave a comment down below. Toshiro concentrates to gain focus +1 and walks up the field. Amanozaku flies once and concentrates for focused +1. Manos activates and starts with his bonus action Leap. Because of his ability Siphon Power, a friendly model within 4 inches can suffer 1 irreducible damage to let him add a suit of his choice to the duel. The Soul Porter suffers 1 and Manos adds a mask. Succeeds and can place within 6 inches. He concentrates and uses his focus to shoot at the Akaname with a Spirit Barrage. The Akaname has concealment, so a negative to hit, but with his focus Manos gets a straight flip. The Akaname gains a flicker token for a plus flip and flips the red Joker, and the shot misses. Asami Tanaka Shintaku walks once and uses Into the Beyond. She needs at least a 5 and cheats to succeed. Instead of dropping a shockwave marker, she can drop a hazardous and destructible rift marker, centering the shockwave on that marker. Models within 1 inch have to pass a move 13 duel or suffer 2 damage. Friendly Oni can ignore this shockwave and are unaffected by rift markers. Then she does it again and has to cheat a second time to drop another rift marker. Then she uses her bonus action Wrath of the Kimon on Ohaguru Betari. Ohaguru may activate a second time this turn. At the start of the second activation, she gains 3 flicker tokens. Sun Chang walks twice. The other Akaname walks once and uses an interact action to drop a scheme marker. Yanlo activates. Because of his Ascendancy ability, he attaches 1 of his 5 Ascendant upgrades at the start of his activation. He chooses the Spirit Ascendant and gains Incorporeal. After attaching the upgrade, he and every friendly model with an attached reliquary may place itself within X inches, where X is equal to the number of Ascendant upgrades on Yanlo. Yan places himself within 1 inch. The Gokudo carries the lodestone and cannot be placed. For each Ascendant upgrade attached to Yanlo, he gains +1 to his duel totals to a maximum of +3 because of his Fortify the Spirit ability. He uses the Treacherous Path on the Gravedigger, succeeds, and can place himself in base contact with her, and she pushes 2 inches for each Ascendant upgrade on Yanlo. Because of Sun Jiang's ability King of Medicine, after a friendly model is placed within 3 inches of him, it gains shielded +1. Then he uses Transcendence, but needs a 7 or higher and fails. Tries again, succeeds, and every friendly within 4 inches gains shielded +1. The Obsidian Oni walks once, and Asami triggers her Dimensional Rifts ability. Once per activation, after a friendly Oni resolves an action in which it ends a move within 1 inch of her or a friendly rift marker, Asami can place this model within 8 inches of its current position and within 1 inch of her or a friendly rift marker. After a model is placed this way, all rift markers within 1 inch have to be removed. The Obsidian Oni is placed within 8 and the rift marker is removed. The Oni attacks Sun Jiang with flames from beyond, but with a black joker the attack misses. The Gokudo activates and uses his bonus action Risky Maneuver. He suffers 1 damage, gains focused +1, and can push up to 3 inches. Then he walks twice. Because of his ability Empty Vessel, he gains +2 move and a +flip to all of his duels while he has a reliquary upgrade attached. The Tengu walks twice and succeeds with its bonus action Dark Bargain. It suffers 1 damage and can take the Interact action and throws the lodestone to the Obsidian Oni. Ohaguru Betari walks once and targets Toshiro with her lure. She succeeds the terrifying check, but the attack misses. No second activation for her, and the turn ends. And here is an overview over the battlefield. Turn 2. Here we see the control hand of Asami and her Oni, and here of Yanlo and his ancestors and retainers. The initiative goes to the Oni who wants to have it. Asami gains shielded +2 because of her arcane shield. The Akaname in the front uses his bonus action, a Foul Gift. Gains a flicker, has to cheat to succeed, and drops a scheme marker in base contact. It then moves twice to get into base contact with a strategy marker. Because it ends a move within 8 inches of Asami, she can trigger Flickering Lanterns. The Akaname discards a flicker token to gain shielded +1. At this point, we remember to mark the strategy markers where our lodestone bearers ended up last turn. The Gravedigger activates and succeeds in a grave robber to drop a corpse and pushes towards it. She walks once and drops a scheme marker. Ohaguru Betari walks once and cheats to succeed in a lure and moves the Obsidian Oni towards her. Toshiro activates and sees the top 3 cards of his fate deck. He walks once and uses his bonus action Unending Fealty to summon an Ashigaru and spends a soulstone for the needed crow. Succeeds, and the Ashigaru is placed in base contact with a corpse marker within 6 inches. Gains slow and suffers 2 irreducible damage. The Oni gain a pass token because a model was summoned. He then fails a Daimyo's Gift on the Ashigaru and ends his activation. The Obsidian Oni walks twice to get in base contact with a strategy marker in the upper left and fails his bonus action Burn It Down. Chiaki walks twice and succeeds with her Spirit Flute and can discard a card to declare the Split the Soul trigger. All retainers around her move 3 inches. All retainers? Not Son-chan, because she moved a bit too far. Then she splits Toshiro's soul to attach his reliquary upgrade to the Ashigaru. It gains some of Toshiro's abilities: Bloated Stench to hand out poison, and Leadership to give friendly minions plus flips for close combat attacks. She ends her activation and this time remembers her nefarious pact to draw a card. Amanyaku walks once and succeeds in an Anchor Oni to discard a flicker token on the Akanami, and succeeds once again with his Storm of Shadows to hand out concealing around him. Yanlo activates and attaches the Ash Ascendant. Every enemy model in a pulse of 2 would gain staggered, but no one is around. He gains a new tactical action, Storm of Shadows, and uses it right away. Cheats a ram to succeed because he is just interested in the Dark Clouds trigger to make the area around him concealing. Then he uses Transcendence, but the action fails. He declares the action again and gains Injured +1 because of Asami's ability Chains of the Earth. Every time an enemy model in her line of sight declares an action it has already taken this activation, it suffers Injured +1. The action fails, but he cheats to succeed to hand out Shielded. Then he uses his bonus action Instill Youth on the Ashigaru. Succeeds, and the Ashigaru would heal 1, but because it has a reliquary attached, it heals +1, and may end a condition on itself. So the Ashigaru heals 2, but forgets to remove the slow. The Tengu takes an interact action to drop a scheme marker and then fails a Song of Night and Day. Manos charges and attacks the Obsidian Oni. He suffers 1 damage to add a ram to his duel to be able to declare the Siphon Life trigger to deal +1 damage and heal for 1. After cheating on both sides, the attack hits and can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in severe damage of 5. The Oni suffers 4 because of his armor +1. Manos wants to leap out of there, suffers 1 to add the needed mask, but the Black Joker shoots him an arrow to the knee and he has to stay where he is. Confused, he just drops a scheme marker on the center line and ends his activation. Asami uses her Wrath of the Kimon to give Ohaguru Betari a possible second activation. Then she walks once and attacks the Gokudo with a Spiritual Invasion. but the attack misses. She tries again, cheats for the hit, and the Gokudo cheats down. She can flip damage at a single positive and flips the Black Joker. No damage, but she can choose to hand out staggered or injured +1 and happily chooses staggered to hand out -2 on his move, and he cannot be moved by friendly effects. The Gokudo confuses his Know the Warrior ability and draws a card. Quick note from editing. I was thinking he just has to have the focused condition to trigger the Know the Warrior, but as the ability clearly states, he has to use the focus and cheat to be able to draw. As usual, lesson learned during editing. Pass token spent on both sides. Sun Chang walks once and drops a ski marker on the center line. Ohaguru Bethari uses her second activation and gains 3 flicker tokens. She walks once, ends a move within 8 inches of Asami and can remove a flicker token because of flickering lanterns, and forgets to gain shielded +1. She then charges and attacks Sun. The attack hits and can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 2, reduced to 1 because of his shielded. The Soul Porter succeeds with an Empower Ancestors on Yanlo to move him, and he does the same for Toshiro. Lady Yume activates and remembers her ability from 2 worlds. When she activates, she can put a flicker on a friendly model with From Beyond to draw a card. Amanyaku gains a flicker and she draws. She then walks once and attacks Manos with her bonus action Coil Around Prey. The attack hits after cheating on both sides, and she can declare the Bold Over trigger. Manos is placed in base contact with her, and because of the trigger, he is pushed 4 inches away from her, and she pushes 4 inches towards him. Then she attacks him with her rows of teeth, hits and can flip damage at a single negative, and does 7 damage with a red Joker. Manos hastily spends a Soul Stone to reduce the damage and reduces it by 3. The Ashigaru attacks Ohaguru with his bonus action Vile Reclamation. Hits and would heal, but he has full health. And Ohaguru gains injured +1. He then charges and attacks her. He gains a positive because of the leadership auras, but Ohaguru cheats and the attack misses. The Akaname gains a flicker token and succeeds in a foul gift to drop a ski marker. It then tries to disengage. Manos hits and flips moderate damage to reduce the move by 4. It tries it again, Manos hits and flips damage at a single negative, and the red Joker reduces the push by 6, and the Akaname has to stay where it is. The Gokudo walks twice to get in base contact with a strategy marker in the middle. Amanozaku walks once and concentrates. And that's the end of turn 2. Both crews claim 2 new strategy markers and gain their first point for the strategy. Yanlo can reveal Spread Them Out and removes 3 ski markers at least 10 inches apart from each other, and Asami reveals Detonate charges and can remove 2 ski markers within 2 inches of Manos. So it's 2-2 at the end of turn 2. And here is an overview over the battlefield. Turn 3. Here we see the control hand of Asami and her Oni after spending a soulstone. And here of Yanlo and his ancestors and retainers. Initiative goes to the Oni, and Lady Yume activates, the Akaname gains a flicker and she can draw a card and discards to hand size. She attacks Manos with her rows of teeth, hits and gets a straight damage flip for a moderate damage of 3, killing Manos. And then she walks once towards the center. The Gokudo activates and heals 1 because he is in Sun Chang's Healing Draughts aura. He suffers 1 for a risky maneuver, pushes 3 inches, gains a focus, and walks twice to get in base contact with a strategy marker next to his deployment zone. The Akaname walks once and uses Lick Their Corpses, discards the corpse, and gains poison +3. Chiaki walks once and targets the Gokudo with Dispel Magic, and he relents. Chiaki hits and has to end 1 condition and the focus is gone, but she can declare the new vessel trigger and discards the reliquary upgrade attached to the Gokudo and attaches it to another friendly model within 8 inches. And the Soul Porter gets the reliquary of Manos. Then she uses her Spirit Flute and flips the Red Joker. But the trigger is useless at this point and the Soul Porter moves over to the Ashigaru to get in range of Take the Hit. And Toshiro moves a bit forward. Then she draws a card because of her Ancient Pact and discards to hand size. Amanyaku walks once, and Asami triggers her lanterns. He discards a flicker and gains shielded +1. Succeeds in an Anchor Oni on the Akaname and it can discard a flicker token. And then he succeeds with his Storm of Shadows and everyone within 3 inches has concealment. Yanlo activates and attaches the Blood Ascendant and can take the Darkest Magics action, gains Diving Charge and Gunfighter. He takes the attack against Ohaguru, cheats for a hit and can declare the My Loyal Servant trigger, flips damage at a double negative because she is in cover, resulting in a weak damage of 3. Because Yanlo's attack does +1 damage if he has 3 or more Ascendant upgrades. We do the healing flip first, and I remember that the healing flip gains the same modifier as the damage. So a healing flip on the Soul Porter at a double negative and Yanlo painfully flips 3 Seviers out of his deck. Ohaguru uses a Soul Stone and prevents all damage. For his first action, he uses Rebuild Corpus. He needs at least 3 Ascendant upgrades to do so, and a non-ancestor model with an attached reliquary can discard the reliquary to be replaced with the ancestor in the reliquary's name. Yanlo succeeds, and the Soul Porter discards the upgrade and is replaced with Manos, and heals for 5. Quick note from editing. I totally forgot about the special ability of the Gokudo, Ancient Bloodline. If a Gokudo is replaced with Rebuild Corpus, a new Gokudo is summoned within 1 inch of any table edge. That would have opened up a lot of other possible plays. But I still learned to play Yanlo and his tricks. Because of Sun's Healing Draughts, Manos gains shielded +1. Yanlo charges to attack Ohaguru and moves out of Asami's sight. Spends his focus for the attack, hits, can flip damage at a double positive, resulting in weak damage of 3. Cheats in a moderate for 4 damage. Ohaguru uses a Soul Stone and reduces the damage by 2. Another attack hits with a Drain Magic trigger and he gets a straight damage flip, resulting in weak damage of 3. Ohaguru has to discard a card, and Yanlo can draw and discard one. Then he uses Instill Youth on Sun Jiang, but the action fails. Ohaguru Bethari cheats for a Whispered Truths, and every enemy model in a pulse of 3 has to pass a target number 13 willpower duel or gain slow. The Ashigaru fails. Sun and Yan pass, and Toshiro cheats to pass. Ohaguru attacks Sun, cheats for the hit and can declare the Shove Aside trigger. Gets a straight damage flip resulting in moderate damage of 3. She shoves Sun aside and pushes him 4 inches away. Then she pushes 4 and attacks the Ashigaru, but the attack misses. With a push, she ended a move in range of Asami's lanterns, and she can discard a flicker, and forgets to gain shielded. The Ashigaru hits with a Vile Reclamation against Ohaguru, and she gains injured +1. Then it attacks with a plus flip, but the attack misses because of the Black Joker. Asami uses Wrath of the Kimon on Amanozaku, and succeeds in an Into the Beyond and places a rift marker within 8. Then she walks once and attacks Yanlo. She walks because the Ashigaru has extended reach and deny charge attacks within 2 inches around it. The attack would hit, but Yanlo cheats to defend himself. The Gravedigger succeeds in a Grave Robber to drop a corpse and pushes towards it. Then she uses an action to destroy the rift marker and drops a scheme. The Obsidian Oni walks once and throws the lodestone to Lady Yume. Sun Jiang activates, heals for 1 and tries to disengage. Succeeds and can push up to 5. Targets Toshiro with Yin and Yang, succeeds, and can declare the Quick Reflexes trigger. Toshiro gains focused +1 and Sun attacks Asami. Hits and she gains distracted +1. The Akaname walks once, concentrates and succeeds in a foul gift to drop a scheme. Toshiro listens to the whispers in his head and doesn't really like what he hears. He fails his bonus action and charges to attack Ohaguru Bethari. He uses his focus and she flickers and the attack misses. He declares another attack and gains injured +1 because of Asami's Chains of the Earth. He uses his last focus and the attack would hit, but Ohaguru cheats to defend herself. The Tengu walks over to Lady Yume and throws the lodestone from her to the Akaname. Manos charges to attack Ohaguru. Toshiro suffers 1, so he can gain a ram, but after cheating on both sides, the attack misses. Another attack hits after cheating and he can declare the Siphon Life trigger. Can flip damage at a double negative, resulting in a weak damage of 3, killing her. Flips for fun the last card out of the deck for a leap, but the action fails. Amanozaku walks once and charges to attack Sun Jiang, but the attack misses. She activates a second time, gains 3 flicker tokens, walks once to end a move within 8 of Asami to discard a flicker and attacks Sun again. Quick note from editing, because Sun has no engagement range, she could just have charged again to position herself, discard the flicker and gain 2 possible attacks. But we all know that in the heat of battle not all plays are perfect. She uses a focus for the attack, hits, can flip damage at a single positive, resulting in moderate damage of 4. And that's the end of turn 3. Both crews gain a point for the strategy, so it's 3-3 at the end of turn 3. And here is an overview over the battlefield. Turn 4. The Oni cheat for the initiative and Amanosaku attacks Sun Chang, cheats for the hit, and before the damage flip we remember to show the control hands. Here we see the one of Asami and her Oni, and here of Yanlo and his ancestors and retainers. Ama gets a straight damage flip resulting in weak damage of 3, killing Sun. Because of Devour Souls she can discard a flicker token. She then charges to attack the Gokudo, cheats for the hit and can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 3, bringing the Gokudo down on 1 health. Then she tries to get her dark bargain with a mask to do any action instead of the interact, but the Black Joker denies that. The Ashigaru activates and attacks Asami with its Vile Reclamation, but the attack misses. Then it attacks her with its Yari and misses. It then gains Injured +1 to attack again, hits, can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 2, 1 damage for Asami because of her shielded +2. The Akaname walks twice and succeeds in a foul gift to drop a scheme and would gain a flicker, but because of its putrid viscera, it can reduce the value of its poison condition by 2 to not gain the token. Toshiro listens and we see what he hears. At first, he uses Unending Filthy to summon an Ashigaru and spends a Soul Stone for a crow and cheats to succeed. Then he succeeds in a Daimyo's Gift on the other Ashigaru. It gains Focus +1, and because of the inbuilt mask, the Daimyo can choose between 2 triggers. And he wants the Ashigaru to cut them down. The Ashigaru does so and attacks Asami and spends its focus, and can attack at a double positive, hits and can flip damage without any modifiers, resulting in a severe damage of 4, reduced by 1 because of the shielded. Toshiro charges and attacks Asami, hits after cheating and flips damage at a double negative, resulting in weak damage of 2. Asami concentrates to remove the distracted and attacks Yanlo, hits and gets a straight damage flip, resulting in weak damage of 2. Asami attacks again and the Ashigaru in the front discards a card to take the hit. It places in base contact with Yanlo and becomes the new target, and the attack misses. Asami uses her Wrath of the Kimon on the Tengu. Chiaki walks once and cheats for her Spirit Flute and discards a card to declare the Split the Soul trigger. Everybody moves, and the Reliquary of Manos gets attached to the Ashigaru without an upgrade. Then she charges to attack the Akaname. The attack misses, and she draws a card at the end of her activation. The Tengu flies over and sings a song of night and day, cheats to get it off, and declares the Unnatural Speed trigger. Every model within a pulse of 5 heals for 1, and it can take the action again, gaining a flicker token, and succeeds. The newly summoned Ashigaru attacks Asami with a Vile Reclamation, and Asami cheats to defend herself. It attacks her with its Yari, hits, and gets a straight damage flip, resulting in severe damage of 4. Asami uses her last Soulstone and reduces the damage by 2. The Obsidian Oni walks once and places within 1 inch of Asami because of dimensional rifts. We remove the rift marker, which is not necessary because all rift markers within 1 inch after the place are removed. So there is always a safe passage to Asami. The Oni attacks Toshiro with its exotic weapons and gains a flicker token for the plus flip. The attack hits with a blaze trigger and can flip damage at a single positive, resulting in severe damage of 4 and burning +1. Then it tried to burn it down, but the action fails. Manos attacks the Obsidian Oni and suffers 1 damage to add a ram to the duel, and the Oni gains a flicker for a plus flip. The attack hits after cheating, and Manos can declare the Siphon life trigger and gets a straight damage flip, resulting in severe damage of 4, killing the Obsidian Oni. Because of Manos' Lantern of Souls, the demise ability Flaming +2 is ignored. Manos charges to attack the Tengu. It flickers and the attack misses. He succeeds with his leap and can place within 6 inches. The Akaname walks once and can discard a flicker and forgets to get shielded. Then it fails a foul gift but gains a flicker because it has to gain a flicker to declare the action. It interacts to throw the lodestone to the Tengu. Yan Lo activates and attaches the Bone Ascendant. An undead model in line of sight can make a claw action, and Toshiro attacks Asami. The attack hits with the My Loyal Servant trigger, and he can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in moderate damage of 4. The healing flip with a single negative on Yanlo results in a severe heal of 3. Yanlo attacks Asami, is afraid to cheat for the hit because the Black Joker lingers in a dangerously small deck. Attacks her with Treacherous Pass and flips the Black Joker. Third action, a diving charge to get in the way of the bird and attacks Asami again. The attack hits with a straight damage flip, resulting in weak damage of 3, killing Asami. An Instill Youth on Toshiro succeeds and heals him for 3. Because Asami is dead, Amanyaku absorbs her soul and attaches the Asami's soul upgrade. He now can use soulstones, can reduce all damage by 3 with a discarded flicker token, and his claw actions inflict +2 damage. Amanyaku walks once and succeeds in an Anchor Oni to discard a flicker token on the Akaname. The Gravedigger walks once, succeeds in a Grave Robber, and succeeds with a Stitch Up on Toshiro, heals him, and he gains Focused +1. Lady Yume hands out a flicker to Amanyaku and draws a card with From Two Worlds. She walks once and attacks the Ashigaru in front of her. After cheating on both sides, the attack hits with the Execute trigger, and she flips damage at a single negative, resulting in moderate damage of 3 because he forgot his armor. And a Soulstone has to be discarded to save the Ashigaru. She gains poison +1 because of the bloated stench from the reliquary. Then she attacks with Coil Around Prey, hits, can place the Ashigaru in base contact. The Gokudo walks around Amanosaku and tries to disengage. She hits and can flip damage at a single positive, resulting in a moderate push reduction by 4, so he can push 1 inch out of her engagement range. And that's the end of turn 4. Toshiro suffers 1 damage because he is on fire, and Lady Yume suffers 1 because she is poisoned. Both crews gain 1 point for the strategy, so it's 4-4 at the end of turn 4. And here is an overview over the battlefield. Turn 5. Here we see the control hand of Amanyaku and his Oni, and here of Yanlo and his ancestors and retainers. Yanlo wins the initiative flip and hands it over to the Oni, and they gain 2 pass tokens. Amanyaku walks once and targets Chiaki with his claws. The Ashigaru discards a card for take the hit to become the new target. The attack hits after cheating with the unnatural speed trigger to gain a flicker and take this action again. And Amanyaku can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 3, reduced by 1 because of the armor. Amanyaku gains a flicker token for the trigger attack against Chiaki to get around the Serene Continents. The attack would hit, but Chiaki cheats to defend herself. Amanyaku has 3 flicker at the end of his activation and is killed. The Ashigaru with Manos Reliquary activates and regenerates for 1 and attacks the Akaname with its Vile Reclamation. The Akaname flickers, but the attack hits. The Ashigaru heals for 1 and the Akaname gains Injured +1. The Ashigaru attacks with its Yari. The Akaname flickers, the attack hits with a shove aside trigger, and it can flip damage at a single positive, resulting in a red Joker damage of 5, killing the Akaname. It charges to attack Lady Yume, staying outside of her engagement range, but fails the terrifying check. The other Akaname walks once and cheats to succeed in a foul gift to drop a scheme marker and walks over to Chiaki. Ends its activation and everybody within 2 inches gains poison +1. Chiaki succeeds with her spirit flute to move some retainers. Then she targets the poisoned Ashigaru with Dispel Magic, but the action fails. Tries it a second time and cheats to succeed and can declare the inbuilt new vessel trigger. She can end the poison condition and discard the Manos Reliquary and attaches it to the Gokudo. And then she draws a card for her Nefarious Pact. Amanozaku charges over the Gokudo and attacks him. Flickers, hits with the Swallow You Whole trigger and gets a straight damage flip, resulting in severe damage of 5, killing the Gokudo. She gets a straight damage flip, but is at full health already, and the lodestone goes to Manos. Then she flies over to get in the way of Manos. The Ashigaru attacks Lady Yume with a Vile Reclamation and succeeds the terrifying check, but misses the attack. Attacks with its Yari, succeeds the terrifying check, and hits with a shove aside trigger, can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 2. Pushes Yume and attacks the Akaname. It flickers, the attack hits, and it can flip damage at a double negative, resulting in weak damage of 2. Another attack hits with a double negative on the damage flip, resulting in another weak damage, and kills the Akaname. Lady Yume attacks Toshiro with her coil around prey and has to cheat her terrifying check. And the attack would hit, but Toshiro wants to stay where he is and cheats to defend himself. Then she attacks Yanlo with her rows of teeth and cheats the red Joker for a hit, and declares the Hole in the World trigger to place Yanlo within 6 inches. She can flip damage at a single negative, resulting in weak damage of 2, reduced by 1 because Yan is incorporeal. Then she charges to attack Toshiro, but fails the terrifying check. Toshiro activates, and after a long game he just lost his marbles and attacks Lady Yume. Passes the terrifying check and spends his focus for the attack. Cheats for a hit at a positive damage flip, resulting in moderate damage, but cheats in a severe to kill Lady Yume. He charges and attacks the Tengu, but the attack misses. The Tengu tries a disengage to get to the down right strategy marker, but Toshiro hits and reduces the push by 4. Then it just runs out of option and walks to engage the Gravedigger. The Gravedigger walks around the Tengu, succeeds in a grave robber, drops a corpse, pushes, and drops a scheme. Yanlo attaches his last ascendancy upgrade and attacks Manos with a treacherous pass. Succeeds, and Yanlo is placed in base contact, and Manos pushes 2 inches for every ascendancy upgrade on Yanlo. 5 pushes around Ganesh, and Yanlo ends his activation because Manos just walks to the strategy marker and drops a scheme marker, and the game is over. 1 point for the Oni for the end condition of bait and switch. The Ancestor and Retainers gain the 4th point for the strategy, and the end of game conditions for spread them out and claim jump. So the game ends 7-5 for Yanlo. What a game this was! Yanlo securing his lesson to Asami in turn 5. The Ancestors and Retainers with all the healing and movement effects are really hard to take down, and Yan growing stronger every turn. Even the first death of Manos, which was totally on me because the Black Joker had taken me off guard. I was focused on scoring, not realizing I could have just walked him to the other side of the forest to be much further away from Yume's clutches. But I am glad that I could show the rebuild mechanic of Yanlo and the reliquary upgrades. Asami Tanaka Shintaku is an interesting title. The Rift Marker teleporting mechanic is surprising and brings a lot of explosive movement to the crew. Teleporting into the field for more aggression, or to the sides for scheming, or back into the safe arms of the mother of all Oni. Her bonus action to let a model have a second activation ensures last activation early on and can be really dangerous on models like Amanosaku, Ohaguru Betari or Enjorogumo. Old Asami as summoner can be more reckless with her models, as all summoners are, and is maybe a bit stronger. But I think there is a lot to discover in her title, and I hope Bernd plays her more often to see what she can do with more time and practice. I hope you could get a nice overview over these 2 masters. I'll leave the deep dives to the professionals, but I hope I could give you a good impression on how Yanlo and Asami Tanaka Shintaku work. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and consider subscribing if you haven't already, it really helps. I hope you will always find a handful of soulstones in your pocket, because you never know upon whom or what you will stumble out there. This was Julian speaking, and I hope to see you soon for another battle report out of the breach.